Hello and welcome back, my fellow grudge bearers. I don't know about you, but I'm excited this campaign. We are really snowballing here. Now, I do believe we still have to face our end time thing, which I don't know what that is. Is that vampires by chance? I don't think so, because we did see those vampire effects. Well, I mean, if it was vampires, it would have come up against us. Anyway, I don't know what the end game scenario is going to be, though we will face it soon enough. We confederated, by the way, Ungrim, which gave us a huge swath of territory. We have this giant crescent of territory. We're headed back to the east, though, for a fight with the ogres and the chaos dwarves. There is more traditional dwarven holds that need to be retaken. That's going to include here and here. And then if we confederate with Belegar, we'll pick up this one over here. And then we've got this one held by Bretonia, which is a tricky grudge indeed. I would have to convince them to give up Karak Ziflin for something, and something tells me that they would not take kindly to that, and they are probably very well allied.
Welcome.
They are with the Empire and with the Wood Elves, so that is going to be a grudging that we'll have to cross the bridge of when the time comes, because that's going to get a little bit crazy. I don't see any enemies over there that could potentially knock it out of their hands either. So like I said, could get interesting. We'll just have to play that one out by ear when we get there, or we'll take it at the last second, and then I don't have to fight all those things. We'll have completed the grudge, and then I can just step away. We don't have to worry about it. We are making a ton of oath gold, which is intended. We are gaining like almost 500 per turn off of buildings. We're making really good income at this point. I have been trying to use my income to reinvest back into my settlements, kind of starting with all of the income-based bits first, because I feel like those will have the biggest payback to me. Some money into certain settlements. Some of these are probably less of a priority than others, as long as they're holding a positive public order. Speaking of, let's go look at those. We got the Cold Myers that we've taken recently that is not pulling high enough public order. We'll go ahead and make an upgrade there that will help towards that. I imagine it probably will, but everything else is actually pulling positive public order, which means we're headed in the right direction. So we don't have any immediate issues with public order that are going to pop up there. Silver Road is contested at the moment. Certainly contested. Let's see. I wanted to get... We do have one more building we can put in there at tier 5 that we certainly want to get. Otherwise, since we're waiting on that building, I do think I'm going to put in this building and crank out even more oath gold. We've got Crooked Moon right outside of the Pillars of Grungni. This army had been busy with the taking of Kara Zakarak. And then we've got Ungrim down here. What is this? By the way, this is Grombrindle's marker, and Grombrindle's nearby, so we could probably complete that. Speaking of, I need to get rid of some of these quest battles. Armor of Scalder, Thorgrim, Grombrindle. All right, looks like Thorgrim and Grombrindle are the one that pulled all the quest battles in here, so we'll have to deal with those. The ogres are making a move on me here. Whilst I am away, I'm gonna move over into their path. See if we can potentially stop them from hitting that settlement. That is old greasy Goldtooth himself. Got a pretty big army here. A bunch of Iron Guts, which these are very dangerous to dwarf infantry. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And this army is a lot heavier on infantry than it otherwise should be. However, with this many giant slayers, we'll be in pretty good shape. We need to get some slayer pirates. And then this army can kind of, and a Thunder Barge probably, well, can a Thunder Barge technically be a Slayer unit? I think we could probably count it as one. Let's come attack Skarsnik. See if we can push him out of our realm. He's got some Snotling Flappas over here, so that ought to be interesting. And then he's just got some Snotling Wagons, Snotling Flappas, River Trolls. Once again, we probably running into the fishy Tittlemuncha here, seems like always. But let's go ahead and fight this battle and conquer Skarsnik's army. It's time to kill Skarsnik. I've got some gyro bombers and a thunder barge working around up front. They do have artillery, which is honestly a little bit irritating. I forgot that they had it. I deployed my cannons further back. We actually get reinforcements That's an annoying amount of hit points that's being taken away by that Spirit Leech. That's got to be the River Troll. Okay, they are coming towards me, so their artillery is gonna not really matter here. I'm gonna kind of fall back away from them, let my cannons open fire. Critical targets, we definitely want to go after the Snotling wagons. We definitely want to attack the Rogue Idol as well. Sorry, I had to fit a sneeze in between there in case anybody was wondering why there was a sudden break. All right, Thunder Barge doing some good damage again, though. It's up in the middle of a bunch of enemies, though, so it's a bit of a dangerous position for us to be in. However, we are causing some pretty tremendous damage, but I would imagine that the River Troll Hag's gonna be after us. How did those, oh, Skarsnik. I was like, how did they disappear? Skarsnik's doing Skarsnik things here. We don't have range on that artillery. They don't really have great range on me either, so they're kind of taking their time to approach, which is good because we are absolutely crushing their Snotling wagons right now. Feels a little bit gross just saying Snotling wagon, but that's certainly the way the greenskins work. This thing, let's hit them with a little bit of 42-pound love here. Give them a 42-pound hug. There we go. Took out some of their units there. Okay, our guns are nearly in range of the big boy there. Speaking of, let's go and slow the approach of the enemy. I'm going to bring my gyro bombers out here, and I'm going to fire at the Rogue Idol, and then I want my guns to focus the Rogue Idol, and cannons as well. They are going to make for my flanks with their Snotling wagons, but I do have multiple units. I don't know why this cannon is moving to fire at a Rogue Idol. They don't need to move. It's a massive target that can easily be killed. Rogue Idol goes down to the hail of gunfire. So that is good news. I'm gonna slow down the approach again. All right, here comes the Snotling wagons. Let's get after them with the Thane and our Slayers. I'm gonna keep another unit back here in reserve. I do have reinforcements coming from the other side of the map, but they're unnecessary. They're just, yeah. Oh, we got a stupid Snotling wagon coming in on us. Let's flash bomb that. And then I'm gonna fall back just a little bit, and let's kind of reposition these cannons a little bit too, where we back them off of the main line just slightly. Let's put a spear into the gross River Troll Hag here, and let's get our gyro bombers back into a safer position. Just get a few things set together here. We've taken quite a few hits on the Thunder Barge, but it shouldn't matter in the end because I believe we have heals as well. Can we put any guns? I'm gonna put some shots in that River Troll Hag, or at least I'd like to. My cannons are moved. Let's kill the River Troll Hag. I'm gonna move we got Skarsnik right there as well. Oh yeah, River Troll Hag taking some big shots from the cannons. Awesome. I would love to hit these Flappas on the way out. Yeah, they're out of range, so I'll just shoot these Night Goblins instead. There we go. Take down a load of Night Goblins. Are we really gonna let that River Troll Hag get away? Feels like that shouldn't be the case. Did one of my cannon crews get knocked off? It's like it doesn't want me to be able to click an attack order on the troll. There we go. That's gonna do it. Yeah, I mean, this is all mop up at this point, but that's part I want to do here. Come on, take that hag out. Hit it. There we go. I think that was a kill shot. No? Not quite. She's rolling around on the ground. Feed her some more cannonballs. She's hungry. Healing. Okay, so that's what's going on. Ooh, there we go. That did it. Good shot there. It's always a beautiful sight whenever you see something like a Rogue Idol and it has 0 value, 0 damage, and 0 kills. The good old 0, 0, 0. So it looks like we did get rid of the River Troll Hag. That's good news. And we got rid of Skarsnik, at least for a few moments. I imagine he'll be back within a couple of turns. The Thunder Barge, of course, doing tremendous damage as usual. The replenishment isn't going to hit the Thunder Barge, but I am just going to go ahead and take it. I mean, we're swimming in Oath Gold and money at the moment, so I don't need to just greed those out any harder. Though, I mean, can you ever really be too greedy for Oath Gold and gold as a dwarf? I guess not. There we go. We don't have to worry about Balrogs in this universe, do we? All right, so we've gotten that done. My Thunder Barge, of course, took more damage there. It'll start replenishing rather quickly. So that's a big hit to the greenskins there. We took Ungram back to face the
Dragon Slayer.
To face the troll or the ogres. Need to clear out a space in this army. I guess I'm going to get rid of one of these Dwarf Warrior Great Weapons. Well, I don't know. Fighting against ogres, grudge throwers won't really have a whole lot of value. We probably just need another artillery piece here. Let's get rid of that, and let's move this Slayer hero into that army.
Be inspired by a Slayer, Dawi.
Because the Demon Slayer would do us quite a bit of good, potentially, against an ogre army, whereas the grudge thrower, not so much. Our engineer did level up. Let's take a look at that. I'm not going to go with Grudge Raker. I'm going to go with, well, I'm going to go with Break Open the Cast first, and then we'll do Deadeye. And let's take a look at our artillery, or sorry, not artillery, technology. We have the Way of the Clans here, which would give us extra Grudge Settler size for the Age of Reckoning Grudge army, which we just used. And let's see, we got Royal Guards. This will give effects for hammers. That one's for Longbeards. All of these would be pretty nice and give us the ability to do a whole lot more research. What other stuff are we looking at? Rat Poison here. Casualty Replen rate is pretty cool. Recruitment. Yeah, that one's not that amazing. Oaths of Loyalty. That one's pretty cool. Global recruitment and local recruitment capacity and all like that. That would be a nice one. Construction time reduction for all buildings. That's also pretty nice. Nothing wrong with that. Allegiance points and population surplus for newly captured settlements. That's actually really cool too. But that would require us to do Grungni's Blessings here, which takes 12 turns. Why does it take 12 turns? Requires 3 techs. Philea's Protection. So, okay, it requires some of these other ones up here. So it's got a little bit of time to cook before we could do that one. Let's do the heavy plating on our gyros. We'll go ahead and roll that one so we can start getting some more upgrades there. Go take a look at our lords here. Thorgrim in the far north is still pushing. We're getting close to arrival at Nagaron, and we just had this rogue army controlled by Vashar come up behind me. I say we'll go at them with our grudge army. We certainly need to intercept them.
Malakai Makaisson.
We could move Malakai back that way, or actually I think we're just a hair closer to that army with Thorgrim, so I'll move that direction with Thorgrim. Someone said that we should complete building everything in the airship, so it's like a fully activated airship. I agree, and I think we are very close to that, so let's go ahead and set some of these construction projects. 1, 2, and 3, actually right there. So the airship will be fully completed. So again, someone mentioned that in the comments that would be a good precursor to declaring a campaign victory, and like I said, I wholeheartedly agree. I think that's a good idea. Let's see, I got the ogres down here to my south. I'm going to head that direction. Then I'm going to bounce over here and face the ogres. The east as well. Still got multiple turns really before we arrive where we want to, but I might be able to cut underneath some of these mountains and speed the process. We have some unassigned skill points here for our Master Engineer. Let's take a look at these. Ancestral Grudge is not bad. The speed one is also not bad. Some different options. Let's go over here to Grombrindle, who is at level 36. Got a little ways to go before he tops out. but already a powerful unit, to say the least of it. We finished his special upgrades. We do have this passive Aura of Endurance here, which gives defense and missile resistance to anybody within 35 meters, which is pretty helpful. This Vigor Loss reduction is quite helpful as well. Let's get to our Thane. And let's go with Fell-Handed Warrior here to increase their strength. And I think that's going to be it for upgrades. We could upgrade a few more buildings. And I guess I will go ahead and do one of those. There's nothing else to move from an army standpoint, I don't think. Let's just double check that. Yep, we're good. And let's go ahead and end this turn and see what comes up on the next one. All right, during the turn in, the ogres are going to strike at Eagle Iries. I'm actually very near to Eagle Iries, so we should be able to avenge that, although it's frustrating because we're going to lose that exotic animal trade. It looks like the ogre saw me at the World's Edge archway and took off running. Big surprise. The Grand Hierophant wants military access. I'm not really going to make any agreements with him because I don't want to make the elves hate me any more than they probably already do because of the pointy-eared grudge. So we're going to ignore that. I do need to get some battles with Skaven in order to complete that. We have to complete some adventure battles before we are able to finish the campaign as well. Let's see, Vashar is attacking us. No big surprise there. What does he have, by the way? A couple of black dragons, several bolt throwers, and a bunch of chosen with halberds mixed in with some crossbows and cold one knights. That's going to be a crazy army. It should get interesting. And of course, he's back there being a typical AI character, which is attacking us for no strategic reason and for no strategic gain, but just because we exist, they attack. And very brilliant. Oh, by the way, I forgot to go into my Great Book of Grudges. We can go ahead and confederate another legendary lord. We could either get Belegar or we could get Thorek. Right now, it shows Thorek with 15 settlements. Now, Belegar has more of the settlements that we need in order to complete this legendary grudge over here. We're working on Silver Road. We're very close to it. Death Pass, for instance, we're close to as well. Southern's World's Edge Mountain. Blood River Valerie is already owned by Belegar. So this one would help us towards restoring these. And I say we have to own all these. I guess we don't. We only have to have these holds. Well, that's good, so I don't have to deal with that one. I was mistaken having to deal with that one that was over in Bretonnian territory. Let's go ahead and confederate Belegar. Just because we can. Let's see what that does to our income. Not much. It didn't sway it much. Looks like there's some green skins back here behind our lines, potentially. All right, so we confederate Belegar. Let's see what comes with the Confederation of Belegar. Looks like we have an army over here by Stone Mine Tower that is a ridiculous number of flame cannons and goblin hewers. Someone was extremely angry whenever they did this army. I don't think that any of that makes any sense whatsoever in terms of army builds. Belegar is back here by Karak-Izor, where he starts. And let's take a look let's head back in here. So that did gain us, I think it'll gain us the Blood River Valley. Are we missing any of the settlements? No. Oh yes, Varunka Hills. We gotta trade that off too. Crap, we gotta get that out of Elspeth's hands. It doesn't have any military buildings.
Lady of the Azrael.
We've got to get that out of her hands, and we could give her any number of things for it. Grinzat has a level 3 military building. She might trade it for Grinzat, because I think they value, well, I don't know if I can trade it to her, though, technically. Let's see. Trade settlements. I want to give you Grinzat, and I'm asking for Varunka Hills. Oh, they do want this. And we can grab a military alliance all at the same time. So, and I can steal her money, because that's fun to take people's money. All right, we'll propose that offer. Now I control the Blood River Valley. And it was a trade they were eager for because the military buildings in those, by the way, if anybody's wondering, they value those really highly for whatever reason. They really want them a lot.
Yes.
All right, we've already got a Thane there. Thane in that army. Got two things. Okay, so this faction has gone completely insane in the Thane. Yeah, look at all the Thanes they've got here. Speaking of insane, did they get their...
To battle?
I only see one of their You can't kill off those legendary characters, can you? Are they wounded? No, okay, they're over here. So we still have the ethereal dwarf heroes. A lot of these armies are an absolute mess. They need to be built into something better and put to better use here. All right, the ogres fled back to Mount Silver Spear. I'm gonna jump down there, kind of hem them in. And let's attack the ogres, get a little bit of retribution here at Howling Rock. I don't know what these vampires are up to. I wasn't really able to declare war on them, so it's part of something that the game clearly doesn't want me involved in. And that was a little bit of redemption. We're getting closer to Eagle Iris. Unfortunately, I cannot go underground to this point. I'm gonna have to travel here first. And then maybe we can bounce underground over closer to Eagle Iris. Let's take a look here at that legendary grudge again. Okay, yeah, so Silver Road's about to be in our control. In fact, I can make that in our control on this turn. I can attack Mount Squighorn. We are going to need another unit in this army. Let's auto-resolve this. Take Mount Squighorn. Occupy. So the Silver Road, now in our control. So just Death Pass, which is Black Crag. We control one of those settlements. We just got to get Black Crag and Carag drawn. That should be a double because it looks like it's potentially owned by Skaven, which is good news. And we are close to attack range on Carag drawn with this army. This army is serving very little purpose, and I don't like its composition. We need better gun recruiting. Let's go ahead and build this building as well. We do have this building for some artillery. We got some good stuff. I don't want this here at the moment. I want that to be Oath Gold, trade resources. And we got a little bit of rework to do here. The AI, of course, can't build a settlement to save their life.
Time for a reckoning.
And let's see if I move up to this point. Goblin Hewers are kind of cool, and they do delete things very quickly, but I don't like their short range. They would be a fun unit to put into Ungrim's army, but I'm not sure how much that they belong in this army. One flame cannon is honestly plenty. So I'm gonna cut some of this stuff. The Iron Drake's not very necessary. We also have grudge settler units here, which potentially cost us more income depending on the current grudge situation. Let's get in and let's grab couple of cannons here, and let's grab a Thunderer, and then we'll start working on some other units, but we'll kind of reset these armies. This one is in that same province. I don't really have a lot of recruiting infrastructure over here at Karak. Could get this building where we could get Slayer units, and it belongs in one of these large settlements. I like the artillery as well, but we can't have all of our stuff here. We need to fix Pillars of Grundy. We need to build up Squighorn. Got all that. We can't build that until we get to the next level. Let's put in some defenses there, actually. Okay. Let's build up that Stone Mine Tower. Half tempted to give that one to Elspeth and see if she'll continue to work her magic here, but I think she may have gotten beat up. She's not using the appropriate army here. She doesn't have near enough guns. We have a Dragon Slayer that we could put into the army with Belegar, and that'd probably be all right. And then we got this Thane as well that we could put in that army, and then he's already got a Master Engineer. And let's see. I don't want brimstone guns. Those are pointless. I don't want that. Got 2 more heroes. Let's start moving these characters up here. Got some different territory down here. We need trade goods and Oath Gold. Karak Ezor, what do we got here? Okay, good. We got the Copper Mountain, which is going to make us some money. We got a Slayer building there. how I feel about that. It's not that bad because we have a lot of the other stuff that we need here already. We can get iron breakers into Belegar's army, which would be quite a bit of fun. Let's see what the local recruit. Oh man, yeah, we got a lot of local recruitment. Iron breakers take a good while to recruit. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and 6. We'll tank up a little bit of infantry. I got 1 quarreler. I don't really need the quarreler. Got 2 heroes coming in that'll put us up to 18. I feel like we want... I like the steam copter. Well, it'd be nice to have a thunder barge. It takes many turns to recruit, if I remember right. Everybody needs a thunder barge. Global recruitment. Thunder barge takes 5 turns. That sucks. But I do want one. And we got to get those heroes up here anyway. Let's grab a couple of those. That puts us up at 19. We've got thunder barge coming in. I'd probably rather have 1 more cannon in this army. I don't think I want the quarrelers. Let's grab ourselves a cannon. That should be a local go get. Then I'd have 2 cannons, flame cannon, plenty of infantry, the 2 heroes, and that leaves me with 1 more unit opening. Got several flying units. We could put one of these Doom Seekers in there just for fun as well. Some of you have been liking those. Or a Giant Slayer could be good to have in the back of our lines to keep monsters at bay. Giant Slayers are pretty handy with their armor-piercing damage as well. They are a lot more anti-large focused than Doom Seekers, and they're a lot larger units at 80 instead of 32. In fact, I'm not convinced that I really like Doom Seekers that much at this point. They seem a little bit overrated in terms of how much you pay and then what their survivability is like, and 90% of the scenarios they're going to find themselves in. Though occasionally they seem to find a good niche spot. We'll see. We're still gaining an absolute ton of Oath Gold, and we could use that to start doing some really good... I think I'm going to use it, honestly. Like, I'm going to do some work in my gyros, and while that's happening, I'm going to go into the forge. And let's go over to talismans, and let's start... We're going to do an Old Guard's tankard. And we're going to start doing the Old Guard's tankard and the Iron Warden's tankard. Both of those together are a very nice combination. Let's go take a look at Belegar. Actually, it could be a fun place to put. Actually, it'd be really cool to put on this Master Engineer, because then you'd have an ethereal unit that heals rather capably and rapidly. Let's go down here. This hammer, he's already got magic attacks, but that hammer would be kind of cool. Let's equip the hammer. And then let's get the... Oh man, where'd that stuff go? Old Guard's tankard. And Iron Warden's tankard. And then I don't think I have any character runes available at the moment. We'll have to keep striking that kind of stuff. Anyway, there's a good start, but we'll start putting that Oath Gold to use. We're now picking up 575 Oath Gold per turn. And on the next turn, we're going to go need to look for some more of those Oath Gold buildings. Again, I kind of have like a little bit of scattered armed forces around here that I'm not going to disband them because there's just so much money at hand. There's just no real reason to disband them. Let's go ahead and take a look at Malakai. Malakai was ready to head into Nagaron potentially while we deal with Vashar. If he attacks that army and kills it, it's really not a big deal to me because it'll just weaken it up for when my other one arrives and finishes him off. So Vashar's time is pretty limited at the moment. Should I go down here? Do I help Kislev finish off Norska before we worry about declaring any wars further west, or do we just take the preemptive strike to Crone Hellebron and move on into Nagaron? It is certainly tempting. I think I'm gonna go snag this island treasure real quick. sail to the wreck. That is not much of a pirate army. We'll just auto-resolve them out of existence real quick. And take some extra loot. Alright, we got the Scarecrow banner, lost cargo. Alright. Got a little bit of gold out of it. Wasn't a big deal. I think I'm going to come over here and put a little bit of hurt onto the Norskins. Just because we can. Alright, I'm mostly out of money, though we still have some lords to move. Oldest was supposed to still be dealing with the Beastmen. Let's see what all... Yeah, okay, so they got 2 armies that are left. We'll try and put both of them to the axe. I was about to say the sword, but I guess technically we're probably wielding an axe. Runic Imbuement. Fire and Fury, Tactician. They probably got some skill points wasted here that I don't really love, but Rune of Slowness is good. Let's do some work on these characters.
Can I help you?
Replenish troops. Open the cask. Okay. Think... Skip the building upgrades. We got some commandments to issue. We can issue more of these. Empower the guilds. Commandments. Damage building. Let's repair that from Vashar. We're right there to re-attack him if we need to. More commandments. The Silver Pinnacle. This should give us a good bit more trade income. I'll have to look at some more of these builds. I want to put in more Oath Gold buildings in these slots. I'm going to tear those down. And end our turn.
I'm getting angry now.
Well, well, well. Big McGreasy comes to the table begging for peace because he realizes what's about to happen. Well, you know what? You shouldn't have attacked me. Well, and then he turns around and attacks me. I mean, I'm glad that he's eating. At least we know he's going to have his last meal, because this is definitely going to be Greasy's last stand. So let's give it to him. All right, we're going to go take the fight to Mr. Greasy Guts. I would imagine that he's got a number of units that he'll want to run to our flanks. I am a little concerned about protecting all my flanks, but I also have to support my main line. I think I'm going to bring one more unit of Giant Slayers to the back. So I've got Giant Slayers to back up each flank of my main line, and then I have my main Slayers up here in front of the Hammerers. And I've got Giant Slayers mixed in with Doom Seekers, just kind of all around here. I'm going to start firing... Those Ogre Bulls aren't really worth my time. I'm going to go after the Iron Fist. They're going to be a better target. My cannon supposedly had someone in range, but it's not going to now. We got Iron Fist. No, not the Iron Fist. We want the Iron Guts. They have the better armor. We do have armor-piercing attacks. We could also just go straight for Greasus, but I'm worried that he will heal off all the damage, and he's not exactly a fast... Oh, man, it's a brimstone gun. Crap. All right, it's not going to do any good against armor, so we need to pick a low armor target like these Ogre Bulls. I didn't realize this wasn't a steam gun. That's unfortunate, because a steam gun would have been far more valuable here. But we'll take what we can get, I guess. Yeah, that's doing a lot more damage to those guys than it is anything else. Our cannon got a couple of good shots there, it looks like. Still firing at the moment. That's some weak damage from those gyrokai. And look, they're already like almost halfway out of ammunition after like 3 shots. Brimstone guns are so useless now. I just don't get it. I wonder if they were supposed to be like flying Iron Drakes, and then just the execution prevented them from being that good. I don't know. Like, it would make sense maybe if they were more like a flying Iron Drake than what they are now, because in their current state, they are just utterly useless. They waste all their ammo in moments, and they just don't, like, they can't cut through armor. Like, that just, they're not useful. Like, just kind of useless units for the most part. Anyway, I'll spend what ammo I can from them, trying to inflict what little damage they are capable of, and I do mean little. Because there just isn't much that they are capable of here. we are getting some good harassment in, and that is giving our cannon time to pick off some ogre bulls. We picked off some iron guts. There's dual weapons. I'm gonna wish I had more cannons, though my organ gun should be pretty well suited to killing some of these units. We actually did okay-ish damage on Greasus, but I would imagine... No, he's not healing. Let's give him another shot, then. Yeah, pretty weak. Pretty weak. Where's my cannon? Let's target Greasy. I don't love that I'm gonna have to beat these guys in melee, basically. However, we do have some tools to do it. My organ gun will be, like I said, pretty effective. Little Greasy guts. He is a large target, so we shouldn't have too much trouble hitting him. Our cannon, though, could be used in any number of situations right now that would be far more useful if I had multiple cannons. I'm a little bit frustrated that we don't have multiple cannons. All right, the organ gun's gonna open up. I might want to just start targeting... I'm gonna target some iron guts with the organ gun. Flame cannon's gonna open up. I don't think the flame cannon is gonna be... Oh, nope, never mind. It's gonna be pretty decent. It's doing some nice damage. Wow, more than I would have thought, even. Okay, well, that's a pleasant surprise. I'm gonna move these gyrocopters back here into safety. I do have open the cast, but I'm not gonna waste it on a brimstone gun because clearly they're not going to be able to return the investment on me handing them the extra ammunition. We're being surrounded, not surprising. All right, I'm gonna pick another target. There's some iron guts coming at us over here. We're doing as much damage to old Greasy as we can. We don't have the best line of sight, it appears, because my... All right, units. All right, so as these ogres connect, I'm gonna countercharge them with giant slayers because my mainline infantry is not gonna be particularly well suited for this type of fight. Let's get rid of those powder guts. So like I said, we're gonna collapse in, give these guys as big of a beating as we can give. Our Slayer heroes out front ought to be very well suited. Everything here is a large target, so they're going to excel against basically all of it. Let's see if we can chop up Greasy here. All right, the powder guts are getting a beating, and they're bringing in reinforcements, but the fight is not going well for the ogres right now. My Slayers are dishing out some extreme pain. I'm gonna bring in this unit over here to intercept. Oh, don't let him into my cannons. There is a lot of ogres, though, so I am a little bit concerned about just sheer numbers. However, their leadership sucks, typically. So I'm hoping that with the death of Greasus, which was quick, I might add, that will drive the ogres into a retreat. That does appear to be the case here. Yeah, almost all the ogres are in the process of routing. So our Slayer army, not quite as fun as an all-gun army, but let's be honest, it was pretty effective. Like, pretty effective indeed. I was actually really surprised at these flame cannons' ability to wreck ogres. They did a tremendously good job. The organ gun wasn't super helpful here just because it couldn't get the range to really continue to cause big damage. There goes the cannon. I'm going to get a few more cheap shots on the way out the door because I just want to mop up as many of these ogres as we can, but I think we've done them really nice damage. All right, well, that was very effective for us. We were able to do some good work there. I'm going to just replenish our units here because why not? So ogres starting to learn that they shouldn't have declared war against us, and we're going to remind them of that as frequently as possible. All right, what does old Cetra want here? Ended a trade agreement. Well, it's your loss. I don't think it's very smart to be ending agreements with a dwarf that has this many thunder barges, but I guess that is up to his own stupid decision making, and something tells me that he'll live to regret it in the same way that Greasy lives to regret his choices there. We probably can't beat Vashar with his army. In fact, I'm certain we can't. Like, this stuff is just not made for this type of fight. I mean, our hammers could do some decent damage if we get backed up in a corner. The problem is he's got artillery and the dragons and all that stuff, so not going to be a good fight for us. I'm just going to go ahead and auto-resolve. It's okay if they get lost. I think we could have done more damage than that, but I'm not surprised that the auto-resolve was trying to give us a little bit of cheaty. But Vashar decided that he was feeling really good after that and decided to come after this army, and this is, again, a decision that he will not live to regret. All right, we've got Vashar in our sights. I'm going to put some shots in here with my gyros, and then I think I'm going to Spear of Grungni those dragons, actually. Vashar should be able to see all of my... Oh, they've got the bolt throwers. I forgot about those. We're going to have to back up. Ooh, we got a good spear in on that dragon, so let's back up. Vashnar's army will probably begin to approach us over here because he's going to be inside a cannon range and start to take some pretty grotesque damage. I definitely shouldn't have deployed that close because of the Eagle Claw throwers, but we'll be all right. If that dragon does catch up, I can shoot it with my steam guns while we keep it away from the Thunder Barge. It's not attacking the Thunder Barge, though. It's only going for my gyros, which is kind of an odd decision, I have to add. All right, whatever. They're just going to go straight for gyros. They're Cold One Knights. You're going to take a beating here. I've got Thorgrim up front as bait, so that hopefully the enemy will take the bait and attack Thorgrim. Here comes the dragon. I'm going to pull that dragon right across the front of my Grudge Rakers and see if we can hit it with the Grudge Rakers, or some of my other key units here. Yeah, there we go. Grudge Raker's going to mop up that. Nice. Nice. All right, here comes the dragon. Let's clean it up with the Grudge Rakers real quick. All right, they're just going to bypass Thorgrim and go for my Grudge Rakers. My Grudge Rakers needed the shots there. Okay, I'm going to pull back. Let my infantry take on that fight. The Black Dragon's about to go down. We should be able to get it. I got an attack in. Killed a gyrocopter in the first attack. And I think got a second one on the second attack. AI was gifted some BS there. All right, there we go. Let's pull these Grudge Rakers back. Thorgrim's just going to pile into here. We are being attacked by the other dragon. I'm going to Thunderburner over here. I don't want the dragon to sit there and chew on the Thunder Barge, so I'm going to put a little extra speed behind us and get that thing mixed up. There are some Dark Shards out here, which are frustrating. I can't really do a whole lot about the Dark Shards at the moment. I need to pull them. Actually, what am I saying? I sure can. Grape Shot. Grape Shot it is. I need to turn all my cannons to defensive stance. All right, the Thunderburner got the dragon over here. I'm going to turn it off because it's causing us damage. The Grape Shot's doing its thing now, and then my Grudge Rakers should be able to finish off that dragon rather quickly. It's a pretty large target right up in the air. All right, let's finish off. Of course, they chose not to fire at the dragon, saying that they are blocked. Now, how you have a blocked line of sight to a giant flying creature the size of a barn is a little bit strange to me. I'm not really sure I understand how you could really ever have your line of sight blocked to such a creature. There, we're shooting it in the butt. They've still got their stupid artillery back there doing its thing, but the rest of their army's getting mulched and their artillery's gonna rout and be gone as a result too. So we'll take some damage to our Thunder Barge just because of their artillery's persistence and their dragon persistence, but they lose their dragons. Vashar loses. Oh, love me some Grape Shot. There's a good way to get rid of those Dark Shards because those things are ever-loving annoying all the time. I'm going to replenish my troops. There's probably going to be some remnants from Vashnar's army. We'll be replenishing slowly up in that region, but that's going to be a big success for us there. So we made the Confederation. We're working on improving the armies that we picked up during that Confederation. Let's see. Let's go ahead and make a few more quick captures here. Karag drawn out of range for some reason for this army. Like, why are they out of range? I mean, we started off halfway to their settlement, and I can't reach their settlement. That's just flat annoying. All right, we'll see if we can reach them on this turn. The ogres ran away, or no, we fought the ogres, and then what was left of them ran away. Let's retake Mount Silver Spear here. Won't be much of it left after all that fighting, but we, I think, made our point there. All right, Greasy's got the gates of Vashar out here that we're gonna take off of him. And then my other army should be able to move, yep, underground, so we're gonna approach Eagle Iris and some revenge there in the east. So we've got armies moving in to pay back the grudges, which of course is always good news. Thorgrim should be able to finish off Vashnar's army here, possibly his faction. I'm assuming he probably doesn't have more than one. Yep, other than just damaging our Thunder Barge some more, which, I mean, I guess at least kind of makes sense this time since they have all the artillery. All right, so Vashnar's faction is toast. So we don't have to worry about them being behind us anymore. At least I don't think so. Did we destroy them? Maybe we didn't. I already clicked through it. I don't remember. Whatever. We got rid of them for now. They maybe do have another army over there. Yeah, they do. Lord of Fear. He's got a... Is that a Dread? No, it's not a Black Ark. It's just a... He's got a single Lord over there. How very fortuitous for him. That's some nice plot armor that was put on his side. Let's take Malakai in and destroy Serpent Jetty. And I'm going to just tear it down. Or actually, I'll hand it over to Kislev. Probably. I don't know. I could occupy these. These are doable. Monolith of Catan. That would actually be a nice settlement right there. Bard camp. We'll see. I might go ahead and just occupy these. I've got my armies to kind of keep this stuff safe. And we're going to work on public order. Let's build this settlement, and we'll put in a little bit of gold there. Let's, that Blood River Valley, let's get some of these trade goods where we can. We already have the salt. Let's go with Oath Gold, and more Oath Gold. Nice. All right, so we got plenty of Oath Gold rolling at this point. I did tear down some buildings. It's going to limit. Oh, I was trying to get the Iron Breakers, and I tore the building down where they get the iron. That's a move that only Air could make. Like, that is a classic moment of stupidity on my part.
If you dare.
How stupid. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and get a couple more Iron Breakers there, and I'm going to have to finish the rest of my recruiting. I didn't want this Quarreler, I thought. Maybe I just didn't see that one. Then the Blood River Valley, I can now do way less recruiting, but we can go ahead and get those couple Thunders. I've got double Thanes in this army, which is a strange deal, but honestly, not a huge deal. Doesn't really matter all that much. Should be okay. Might as well grab a Thunder Barge while we're in here too. We're gonna have to be waiting 5 turns for it. Got 3 cannons, Thunder Barge. We could get a couple of Giant Slayers. Probably wouldn't be a bad deal. Yeah, let's get a couple of Giant Slayers. Should be useful to us there. And then we have room for one more. I'm just not sure I really want an Iron Drake. I don't think that's gonna do me a ton of good. Let's grab one more Thunder. And then let's see, that'll give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry. Probably wouldn't hurt to have maybe one more infantry, and then we'll have the Slayers. Yeah, so that'll be good protection, good gun line. That should give us a nice balance here for this army. It'll take 3 turns to get it all done, but should be worth it. So I feel like this is probably as good a place as any to maybe leave this episode. We are absolutely thriving in terms of Oath Gold and income. We had that Confederation, and within a few more turns, we should be able to Confederate Thorek as well, so that we will have all the Dwarf Holds united, which was one of our objectives there, so that should be fun. Let's make another Old Guards tankard. And let's make another Iron Warden's tankard. Nice. All right, so, and let's go ahead and equip those before we forget. In fact, we can come to this army, and this Dwarf Lord right here would probably benefit from some of that equipment. Since he's not really a special lord with any crazy capabilities, we'll maybe equip him with some of this stuff. There we go, we got the Iron Warden's tankard. He's got some Fencer's blades, though I believe we have another one of those hammers. We do. That hammer's a pretty cool weapon. Gives extra weapon strength, and well, it's when fighting against the greenskins that stinks. Oh well, we still get 10 melee attack and magic attacks, which is pretty sweet anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Let's see. I don't know that we have any armor. I'll have to forge some more. Well, we got an enchanted shield. That's about all we got. But we can forge some more armors. We got a lot of forging to do, so we really can't overdo the amount of oath gold that we bring in at this point because we have a tremendous amount of forging needs to be done. I will see you all soon with some more action in the good old Malakai Makaisson campaign. Feel good about this though. We're coming up on some victories, and we're about to clear this legendary grudge here as soon as we get a hold of Death Pass and the World's Edge Mountains. So that should be a good time. Anyway, I will see you all then. Heir signing out.